Hello, and welcome to Check With Me, helping coaches make the right call at the right time. Check With Me is a mobile application that you can get on the Apple App Store that provides real-time statistically driven analytics to transform your existing video breakdown data into predictive information. And we'll go through it here. Let's take a look at the Check With Me app. Upon entering, you'll go directly to the game day feature, the game day search engine. There are 3 different search engines on this app, and this is going to be the search engine you will use in a game day feature. The first thing you'll need to do is to select your data set. I have up to 5 on here at any given time, and we will select the Demo AFCA account. Now, as you can see, there's 188 plays on this data set. 38% of the time they throw it, 62% of the times they run it. You see the top run on the left, the top pass. The next column will be the run section. They run the ball 57% of the times to the left and 43% of the time to the right. Offensive strength, offense weak, pretty 50-50. For this data set, we did not put defensive strength or weakness within the data set, so it's really not useful at this point in time. And then on field and boundary, they definitely like to run the ball to the field about 2/3 of the time. The following one is the hit chart. We've all seen these before. You can see exactly the number of times they run it. Looks like they like the B and C gap. They do like to go left in the E gap. The next section is pass, again left and right, strength weak, field and boundary, and a pretty good percentage of time they definitely want to throw the ball to the field. And then pass zone, this is where they try to attempt passes. It looks mostly in the flats in columns 1 and 3, pass zones 1 and 3, and then they do like to go deep down the left side. And finally, the defensive call, derivative play call analysis. So 34% of the time, OZY, it's an over front 3 deep, is primarily O-buck, was a defensive stunt. So now we'll go back in and let's select. They come out and it's 1st and 10. And we'll say 21 personnel's in the game. You hit confirm. Goes from 188 plays to 16 plays, almost 90% run. It looks like off tackle, and there is 1 toss. You know, everything changes. They run it to the offensive strength, to the field 93% of the time. Here's their hit chart. They did throw it 2 times. It's pretty 50-50 split. And then your defensive calls, your derivative play calls change to over ZY, over buck. Now you get them in a passing situation. We'll say it's 3rd and 10. We'll say 10 personnel's in the game. Hit confirm, hit confirm. You got 10 plays, 90% run, or pass, excuse me. And you can see there's pretty predictive in where they're trying to go with the ball. And here's your derivative play calls. It's got some line stunts, playing cover 2 behind it, and then a couple blitzes up on the board in this particular situation. You just hit reset if you want to go back to the beginning where their entire data set is 188 plays. Now let's say key player. This team specifically had 2 different quarterbacks. One was a throwing quarterback, one was a running quarterback. This is their passing quarterback. And they're more of a 50-50 team, run pass overall. It goes from 188 plays to 125. And the calls generally say the same. We do have a little more coverage in there as well. And then we'll just take a look at their running quarterback. Now you're almost 80% run versus 20% pass. And here are the defensive calls. You hit reset, confirm, it goes back to the initial data set. You can look at goal line situations. Just hit the yes, and I use goal line for third and short, I think it's 3rd and 3 or less, and then anything on the 10 going in. And here are their plays. There's 20 plays, 75% run. Gives you all the data that you would need. They like it out in the flat most of the time. And here are your calls for this selection of plays. So I reset back. Just another situation. What do they like to do coming out? The -20 to the -1. We've got 21 plays in this. They're pretty aggressive for most teams. They're still almost 50-50 run pass. And here are the defenses. So you've got basically 13 different conditions to look at that you would want to look at if you just want to look at a specific formation. We'll say trips gun far open. Hit confirm. Hit confirm. There's 8 plays, 50-50 run and pass. And it'll tell you everything you need and what defenses you should be in for this formation. So this is the first search engine within the Check With Me app, and it will be used primarily during game day. I have a guy up in the box that I give him like 3 different conditions to look at, usually down and distance and personnel grouping. However, if there's a key player or something I see in their tendencies that I want to look at, I will have him do 3 or 4, no more than 4 because of time constraints. And then he'll say, hey, coach, they like these 3 plays, you like these 2 or 3 defense, make the call. The next search engine is going to be more of a digital scouting report. So it comes up and you can see the top 5 personnel groups. And then it will break it down further by run and pass. The next is the top 5 formations. And again, it'll break it down by run and pass. And then their top 10 plays. And then along the top, you'll see right, left, strong, offensive strength, defensive strength, field boundary, and then how efficient they are in each. So let's go ahead and select the data set. And you can see there's 188 plays in this and data set, and 62 of these plays were 10 personnel, equating to 33% of the time they're in a 10 personnel grouping. They like to they average 5.2 yards per play in this, and they like to run the ball a little bit more. However, they do average more yards per play throwing the ball. Their top formation is a straight IB formation. That's just a pro set, 2 running backs and a tight end, 27 plays, representing 14% of their offense. And again, running the ball 81% of the time. They're averaging almost 4.5 yards per play. And throwing the ball, they weren't too efficient, minus 1.6. And then overall, their top 188 plays, these are their top 10 plays by the number of plays. So they definitely like this power. We call power O is king and queen. Queens to the weak side, kings to the strong side. And you can see their numbers, average yards per play. So just like the last search engine, you still have these 13 conditions that you can look at. So let's see what they like to do on first down. They still like 10 personnel. It's only 28% of the time as opposed to 33% of the time. It's no longer IB. It's B gun slot open is their number 1 formation in first down. And here are their top 10 plays on first down. Hit reset to go back to the beginning, confirm. And now let's say what's their personnel groups. Let's look at just 10 personnel. That's their most common. What will happen is that the other personnel groups will zero out since it's not selected. But then it'll give you their top 5 formations in this personnel group. You can see trips gun near open is their number 1 formation almost 40% of the time, or over 40% of the time. And then these are their top 10 plays. Florida is just what we call jet sweep. They have a quarterback power O, quarterback trap, little tailback swing, and you see which plays are making their money, basically. You can see this 62-61 slot gator averaging 36.5 yards per play. This, in essence, becomes your digital scouting report. Breaks down all your huddle breakdown that you've done and puts it into an easy to read, easy to manipulate piece of data that you can see and just get an idea of what the personality is of the opposing team's play caller. The last search engine is player efficiency. And here is just statistically analyzing the players of just how efficient they are within their offense. Looking, the first column is passing. You can see player 7 was clearly their throwing quarterback, attempted almost 50 times, had a 53% completion percentage. How many yards per attempt, how many TDs, interceptions, how many sacks he's given up, what his quarterback rating was, and scramble yards. And then number 2 was their running quarterback, which you can see here down in the rushing section. He ran the ball 21 times for 122 yards. The guy they really want to give the ball to is number 5. And it will tell you how many TDs, what their long is, how many runs they've had over 15 plus yards. And the last section is the receiving. And I used this primarily, or created this, because I wanted to see who was getting targeted. So the TAR is targets, not just receptions. I wanted to know who they were trying to throw the ball to, and if I could, try to identify situations where they were going to one receiver 100% of the time. And again, just like in the other 2 search engines, you have these 13 different query conditions that you can look at. So let's just look at 10 personnel, who they want to throw the ball to. You hit confirm, hit confirm. All right, so you hit confirm on 10 personnel. See, they have 62 plays, and they're trying to throw the ball to number 10. You can see 13 different targets, 7 receptions, 109 yards, and that's the guy we're going to have to stop in 10 personnel. So that's just a little taste of what all Check With Me offers at this time. We are looking at adding a iPhone or smartphone version as well as an offensive derivative play calling with it. Potentially putting in some files that you can with plays that you can actually make this an all-in-one digital scouting report. You can see the run plays and the pass plays drawn up, and this is something the players can have in their hands during the week. Possibly it may lead to another whole host of issues in school when they're playing with their Check With Me app during class time. But anyhow, it's just I hated the idea of leaving all that hard work on the sideline when we break down huddle. I want to thank you for spending a little time with me. Please take a look at the website, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email or to give me a call. Coaches, good luck next year, and check with me, making sure you make the right call at the right time.